This is the Epomaker x Create Keebs High65 V2. If this sounds familiar to you, it's because the board was run as a group buy back in 2022. Now, it's back alongside Epomaker as a retail board that costs $279, complete with switches, stabs, and keycaps out of the box. But the question is, does it warrant the increase in price in this ever-competing budget keyboard market? Let's find out. Opening up the standard Epomaker looking box, we are greeted with a card that comprises of the disc card and manual QR code, followed up by the box of accessories including the nicely braided USB Type-C cable, as well as a free keycap and switch puller combo. Lastly are some extra screws and bits in case you misplace it during disassembly. Underneath all of that is the High65 V2 inside the semi-translucent plastic for protection. Enough of all this, let's hear it stock with the baby kangaroo switches and included keycaps. To say that I'm impressed by the stock sound test is an understatement. Both I, RX, and Doc have this unit for review, and we were collectively agreeing that even stock, this board sounds great. Even the stabs didn't exhibit any ticking or rattling in my end. I like the feel of it as well. It's a bit stiff, but that helps out the tactile baby kangaroo switches. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's discuss first what is the High65 and where does it compete in this market. The High65 V2, as mentioned earlier, was a group buy board that ran last year, and by the looks of it, Epomaker decided to grab this opportunity to make it an in-stock release, with their own twists on the included keycaps and switches, not to mention the changes on the weight and mounting. Looking at it head-on, we see the 65% layout, which basically mimics the Leopold's layout, having a longer 2U shift key, as well as a 2-key navigation row on the top right. By default, it is set to delete and print, and it does have a Changan bottom row as well, something I quite approve of. This layout might be unusual to some, but I like it anyways. In my eyes, it looks visually pleasing, but that has a trade-off of less keys. The addition of the caps lock indicator on the left side is a nice touch as well, and measuring 33.1 cm across, this will be a bit longer than your typical 65% keyboard, and do keep that in mind. On the sides, we see a 2-piece wedge construction with a narrow seam on the middle being flanked by the Type-C port in the rear. I measured the front height to be about 25 cm, including the first keycap, and I'd say you don't need the wrist rest for this, as its typing angle is good enough. It has about 0.8 cm of bezel that spans the whole sides of the keyboard, a very clean and sleek design in my opinion. On the back we see 4 rubber feet alongside the screws to get into the board. On the left side, we also see the weight and accent to cut the dullness of the back case. As for the build quality, I received my unit in cream with no scuffs or dings to see. And weighing in at 1.5 kilograms belt, this will be a mainstay for your desk. The insides also didn't seem to have scuff marks, something I'd expect on a premium board at this price. And they delivered. This review board came in with the Gateron Baby Kangaroo switches, which are a tactile switch that was released in 2022. They are designed to be a more affordable alternative to the popular Gateron Ink Kangaroos. The Baby Kangaroos features a palm stem and a nylon PA66 housing, and they are factory lube with a thin layer of grease. They have a medium to strong bump that I love the feel of. This alone contributed a lot to the sound and feel department of this keyboard. You can also get this with a slate color and Gateron CJs, which are some awesome linears as well. The keycaps that came with this vary with the color you pick, but objectively, they are some good keycaps, with 1.4mm in thickness for each keycap, PBT die sub for the material, and no warpage on the spacebar. Looks-wise, I don't dig the centered fonts and modifier keys, but that's just my subjective opinion. The PCB is a main highlight for me, as not only does it have VIA compatibility out of the box, but it's also a 1.6mm south-facing and non-plexed PCB. This massively helps the sound department of the board, as it gives and reverbs back the full sound of the switch, as opposed to a plex-cut 1.2mm PCB. Other than that, my only hope for this keyboard is to have more flexibility in terms of layout, like maybe a step caps lock or a split backspace would be nice. As for the mounting, this is a gasket mount design with pre-installed pour and foams on the PC plate, and it looks like they have the same molds as the group buy ones, leaving it available for top mounting should you wish. But keep in mind that you'll need to manufacture your own plates for this. Feel-wise, it isn't the bounciest or flexiest board I've used, but I'm more than happy to trade that for a fuller sound in the end. This, by the way, has all the foams you'll ever need to modify the sound. And you don't need to worry about any Type-C pressure, as it has a separate daughter board for that. As the title suggests, I think this board doesn't need any more mods. It doesn't ping, it has foams pre-installed, and it's built out of the box. And by the looks of it, the target market on this keyboard are the ones who won't tinker at all. For $279, you're getting a lot. But then again, $279 is a lot of money. Let me give you an analogy. Cooking your own food can often yield better results, but might cost time and knowledge to do it. Just like in keyboards, building a board by yourself is often better, but you need to have prior knowledge and the technical know-how to do it. Buying fast food, on the other hand, is much more expensive, but it's pre-made and you don't need to worry if it tastes good or not, nor do you need prior knowledge in cooking. In turn though, it will cost you more, and it might not be up to your preference. In my opinion, the High65 V2 is perfect for those who have a budget to splurge on a gaming keyboard, but wants the customness of a group buy board. Then again, they don't know or they don't want to commit into the rabbit hole. This board is a one and done deal, and for the price, I think it's justified. What do you think of the High65 V2? Does it deserve that price tag? Let me know down below. I'm Johan J. Bimaba, and I'll see you in the next video.